Yes, I'm in my dressing gown. Yes, my hair is a mess. Do I care? No. I love movies. I really love them, especially the horror movie genre, and of course, Spencer Productions is all about horror movies. Then I know what you're thinking, but Spencer, where is the Apollochian history video? And you calm down, will you? The video is coming very, very soon. In fact, sooner than you think. I can safely update you on the fact that the script work is done. The script for the video is finished. All I need to do now is grab some images, maybe some stock footage here and there, tie it all in a neat little ribbon, and just say, you know, some words, some commentary on it, and Bob's your uncle, the video's done. I think by this time, within the next month or two, that video will be coming onto your feed very, very, very soon. So you can like fuck down. So movie reviews on this channel isn't exactly the newest of things I've done. In fact, I've done, I think, 2 previous reviews before. One for Garden of Words. It was a Japanese 46-minute anime, which was quite emotionally evoking. And of course, Metropia, which is actually one of my most viewed videos on the channel. And film reviews isn't exactly something that I've dived deep into recently. I've done one recently. I think the most recent one I've done was like on The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It, but I don't know if I deleted that one or not. I might have deleted that. I can't remember what's going on with my channel these days, I'll be honest. I wanted to give you guys something. I wanted to give you guys something just to whet the appetite, you know, just to get you in the mood. It's like, yes, Spencer Productions is on its way back. It's coming back. Why am I doing this action? I need to give a warning out here. I am not by any means a seasoned movie reviewer with a textbook rating system. I do not have any of that. I am just a random bloke on YouTube that watches movies, any kind of genres, mostly horrors, and who is obviously writing documentaries as we speak as well. This is Spencer Productions. It's your boy. And I recently watched a film from Phil Tippett by the name of Mad God. If you guys don't know anything about Mad God, let me tell you something about Phil Tippett first. Phil Tippett is one of the pioneers for stop motion animation in the horror industry. This is a film that he was working on for over 30 years, and I think it's, I can't remember exactly what website or what streaming service that this film was released on. I think it was like Shudder or something like that. I can't remember the exact name of it. I think it was Shudder. But yeah, I watched that film recently, and let me tell you about it. This film is just extreme to the max. And then when I say extreme, I mean extremely disturbing, extremely thought-provoking, and just extremely fucking gory. It was way more gory than I thought I was expecting. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be as gory as it was, but as it started happening, it was like every single thing that the human mind can conjure up to be so disturbingly violent. It is just, it really is something to see for yourselves, honestly. To put it bluntly, the film follows I think it's like some sort of traveler that comes down in this little like capsule thing. He comes down, a spoiler warning by the way, I should probably point that out there. This series is going to be full of spoilers, so don't expect me to try to do any spoiler-free videos. That's not happening, boys and girls. He comes down in this little capsule, and he has this map that continuously begins to deteriorate the more he goes through this lost faith, this hopeless landscape of just pure blood and just pure violence and just disturbing horror from left to right and front center. It is just non-stop. It is non-stop. That's the best way I could possibly describe it. It is simply non-stop dread. The only way I could possibly put the story is that there is no story. I don't believe that there is even a hidden meaning behind the story. I believe that this movie is literally for gore fans, for horror fans that love stop motion and just absolutely adore Phil Tippett's style of animation. Phil Tippett, I applaud him for bringing back this film after so many years, because I believe it was either he lost faith in it or his production team lost faith in it, and they only really got back into it a few years back when they started finishing up this project. And then all of a sudden it came out, I think, like, was it 2 or 3 years ago? I can't exactly remember how long ago it was released, but Mad Gods is pretty much the magnum opus of Phil Tippett come to life after 30 years of work and dedication, sweats and tears. This film is just, I mean, fuck me, dude. The music used in this film is tremendous. I love the orchestra at the very start of the film, where it has that huge, like, pyramid thing going up, fire everywhere. You see these little, like, zombie, like, I can't tell if they're henchmen for something, or if they're like just living beings within that universe, just walking across this temple like pyramid. And this whole orchestra keeps playing and playing and playing, and it's such a grand opening. You think, bloody hell, this is going to be a really epic movie, and then you go through it, and then at the end you're just like, what the fuck did I just fucking watch? But if I was to put into words what I thought of the movie, was that the character work, the actual like filming setup of all the environments and the civilizations inside of it, if you could even call it a fucking civilization, it was more so of just like, I don't know, the best way I could possibly describe it, it was a prison. It was like, it was some sort of like torture chamber. It was so fucking thought-provoking, and I don't know how to put into words, just how much I adored this movie. This combined all kinds of horror movies. This combined body horror, it combined gore, it combined like in real life animation, it combined stop motion animation, and the monsters, oh my god, man. I don't know what that big fat thing with the cleaver was, but whatever it was fucking terrifying, mate. The world of horror nowadays is just filled with a CGI. It is filled with so many computer generated monsters and demons and ghouls and ghosts alike that we rarely ever see like the physical form of horror anymore. We don't really see that unless if you really like dive deep into the horror landscape and really have a look, really dive into it. And it's not exactly something that you see anymore, but this movie in particular, the physical aspect of it is just top notch. The stop motion is fucking fantastic, and of course, with Phil Tippett being at the helm of it, I didn't expect it to be any short of a masterpiece. It was great. I loved it. I loved it from start to finish. The fact that there was no story, like I mentioned earlier, that there was no story involved in it, it's something that was up to the imagination of the viewer. And from what I gathered from it, is that this is a world or a universe with no hope. It is a universe with no faith. It is a universe with no love, nothing. This is just a world where there is nothing to do apart from just suffer. I would say this is a really good representation of, if hell really is real, I would see it being that. Like this is what I would envision hell to be like. Just endless torture and just endless physical hurt. Just violence upon violence upon violence. Gore upon gore upon gore. It is scary to think about. Stuff like this is once in a blue moon. Stuff like this is something that you don't see very, very often anymore, especially stop motion. You hardly see anything like that nowadays. And this is a representation of what that kind of horror represents. And it's amazing. It's an art form. It is an extreme way of showing just how beautiful horror can be. And with Phil Tippett being the producer of this and being the director of this and being the creative mastermind behind all of this nonsense, behind all of whatever Mad God was, Jesus Christ, man, I am so happy that he completed this project. I am beyond words of just how fucked up this movie was. It's something that I would recommend to all of my viewers watching. I would recommend to anybody that hasn't seen anything from Phil Tippett before. If you don't know who Phil Tippett is, look up his work. But when you work up to Mad God, you will understand why it is one of the most, I don't want to say it's the greatest horror movie, because it's not, but I will say, full stop, in terms of like stop motion animated things, this is up there. And this is like the echelon. This is where people aspire to make a goal of. This is what people aspire to do in the movie industry. This is what they want, and Mad God gives us that. I love the animation of it. The music on it was quite thought-provoking and very eerie at some points as well. The story, or lack of a story, was also something that I admired. I really, and the fact that at the end it's just an endless cycle. It will keep going on and on and on and on and on. And this is the thing with that kind of horror. Imagine living in an environment like that, where the violence never stops, the torture never stops. Again, hell on earth, mate. Hell on earth. I would give it a solid 4. A solid 4 stars. Not purely because of who was at the helm of it, and not purely the reason why I don't give it 5 is because I guess of the lack of story. Like, yes, the lack of story brings many views of imaginations to the table, but at the very end of the day, if you can't follow on a particular storyline, you might lose a couple of eyes, you might lose a couple of viewers into films like this. You might lose the audience that you're trying to grab. However, those who are really into the whole concept of like, oh, this is up for interpretation, people will eat that shit up, mate. They will eat this film up. Mad God by Phil Tippett, I would highly recommend it. Let me know what your thoughts in the comments are below. Obviously, subscribe if you're new to the channel. Give this video a like as well. Of course, this is something that, I just thought to do in between documentary style videos, and the Appalachian folklore video will be coming sooner than you think, of course. And I wanted to say thank you so much for your patience and your understanding. Documentary series is still on the works, but this movie review series is something that I can do really, really quick, just so I can get a video out. So, yeah. So, movie reviews are back, and I hope you guys enjoy them. Mad God from Phil Tippett, 4 stars. Thank you so much for watching. I love you so much. See you later, everybody.